Hello. Um, so it's just an update for general stuff. My the prolotherapy and PRP was good. I think it helped. Um, but I got like this tightness, like inside the I don't know what you call it. It's like in the clavicle area. Like my bone is like here, right? But it's like on the other side of that, but between the shoulder blade and the bone. So that like little space that runs along the top of your shoulder there and over here, mine are like crazy tight. And then like around here, like this is also the bone right here, but like just under that this time, not above it, but under it. Um, and then in the back, um, around like I don't know, like C7 or something like that. It's hard to, I forget which bone's which just by feel. But yeah, the base of my neck, that's really sore. My finger is killing me. Like this one, like this is the one I use to flush the toilet. If you needed to know that, but like just pushing down on that thing, it hurts. But it hurts a lot. Like I played sports my whole life, so um, like I'm used to getting injuries and stuff. But this feels like, I was wrestling and like jammed my finger, or like like someone passed me a basketball and like hit it. It's pretty bad, and I'm like just from that, and it won't, and it's been like that for months. All this this tightness up in here has been like that for since um, like definitely before the injection. So I don't think it has anything to do with the injections. Because I was having issues with my shoulders beforehand. It seems like whichever side I'm sleeping on, that shoulder seems to get a lot worse in my neck. And I tried adding a mattress pad to soften it up, and that didn't help. I don't know. But I'm worried because I also have, like, just walking, my ankle's killing me for no reason. Um, Sometimes it's so bad I can't walk. Like, I physically can't. And so I'm kind of, I don't know what's up. I don't understand where, like, it's all like joint stuff, all connective tissue stuff, and it's kind of worrying. The tinnitus has improved from since I've been getting shots. There's this like overall hiss, sort of like headphones. If you turn them on and turn the volume up, but there's no song playing, there's nothing playing on them, like that kind of hiss. And um, and then the other typical humming and ringing sounds are quite low. So that hiss is there, and it's a little annoying. Um, if like if anytime I'm in any kind of quiet area, I can hear it, and for some reason it gets like really loud, even though it's like if there's some noise, I don't hear it, the hiss, and then, but if there's not, then it's ridiculously loud, and it's like what? It doesn't make any sense. Um, so, but overall, the volume of the tinnitus is it's not as loud. Like I wake up in the morning and it's like, um, I don't know, if I didn't go for a walk, then it would still be a little bit like the walking helps. I guess it helps blood flow because my heart goes up to about 90 to 100 beats per minute, and then also I'm looking around and stuff, so I'm stretching my neck out, and I suppose that helps too, and also being upright, of course, helps with blood flow. So um, specifically with my internal jugular veins. So yeah, so that's what's that's what I'm experiencing now. Supposed to get an MRI. Dr. Schultz in Colorado. I did a thing with them where he evaluated me for PICL treatment, and he said, I mean, it seemed like I was a good candidate. He still would like me to do the digital motion x-ray up there if I did get the PICL, just to double check on things, because mine that I got down here, I guess, wasn't clear enough to probably use higher end equipment up there, and I'm more experienced with it. And then oh my god, yeah, it's really sore. It's not just like a little, it's just like, Jesus Christ, it feels like if I got in a car accident and like I was feeling this way, I'd be like, oh, okay, it makes sense because I got in a car accident, you know. But it's like I didn't. I've never been in a car accident in my life, you know. So anyway, so that's the MRI. He wanted me to get an MRI, cervical stand up, so I can like move my head around some, like flexion extension, and get better views of, because I think on my cervical you can't see the ligaments at all. So there's nothing, you can't see C1, C2 ligaments to see if there's like even see the damage. And I would like to get a CT venogram or angiogram with a venous phase, which means a contrast, so you can see the bones and then also the veins and such. If you have tinnitus and you're going to get a CT, you might as well you absolutely should make it so that you can see the veins. So like the angiogram, and then the contrast they inject in you, it makes you warm and tingly, like that stuff, like so they can see. Because a lot of times, maybe not the majority of times, but if like problems with your veins in your brain, like in your head, in your neck, that can cause tinnitus. And also there's an issue where like you want your veins and arteries to flow properly. So even regardless of the tinnitus, you want to get that checked out. So if you're having tinnitus and you're going to get a CT, I would say just if you have tinnitus at all, unless you know it's from acoustic trauma, like you're like, okay, I went out and shot a gun, now I have tinnitus, well it's probably not a blocked vein that's causing the tinnitus. But if you just kind of got it out of the blue and your hearing's good, then you should get a CT with the contrast. And you can also, there are programs to make it three-dimensional so that you can better see things, because it can be hard to make out all the veins and like if something is squeezing a vein and making it larger, like what is doing it. If you're looking at two-dimensional images, but you can use a program to render it in 3D, so you can see like, here's this vein on this side, it's twice as large, and then as the one on this side. Oh, and then you can see if it's a C1 that's squishing against it. You can see if it's a styloid or whatever. Because my styloids are a little longer than normal, maybe. That might be it. Maybe I need a styloidectomy for that. I don't think that's the root of my problem. Might be the root of tinnitus, but yeah, it's a serious problem if your brain's not training. And I had 4 doctors tell me it wasn't. I don't know why they're so stupid. Like, I think part of it too is like they don't understand what I'm talking about, and I sympathize with doctors because like I've been studying this stuff for like a year and I'm scratching the surface. I'm like, well, that's just like one thing, like one problem, or a combination of problems. Like they have to figure out, like, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of different kinds of problems that a person could have. Yeah, and that's just what a specialist would have to do. Like, there's so many things that go wrong in so many ways. And on top of that, everyone being, like, everyone's different. So I kind of get that. But when someone's like, hey, like this part of the body's not functioning good, can we check it? And they're like, that doesn't matter. It's kind of like, well, what's wrong with checking it? Like, you know, like my knee hurts all the time. Like you'd have no problem getting an MRI, right? Like if you just like it hurts and it hurts and it hurts, like you have some imaging done, right? But they just wouldn't do that. So that's when I say you're stupid, because it's like, come on, like, like I would like to get a CT angiogram because I have a reasonable issue. Like my MRI is showing like it's blocked, and you know I have an issue, and they're like, I don't know if it's, you know, as blocked as you think it is. I'm like, well, you know, we should probably check, because if it is, then I'm getting brain damage, and the hole in my skull, or holes in my skull, because the vein has to go into your skull, right? It doesn't magically appear in your brain. It goes up through your neck into your skull, and there's a hole there, and that hole gets larger because the vein just sits there and wears away at it because it's big. So that's bad. It's bad having big holes in your skull. Because eventually, let's say I get this fixed and then the vein goes back down, and now I got this big hole. And you're talking about a hole that's like, you know, twice the diameter it was before. And so that's probably not good. And of course, brain damage is not good. So yeah, 4 doctors tell me that it doesn't matter, and I don't know. It's just, I don't understand the confidence some doctors have sometimes, because like it's too much to know. I understand too that patients want their doctor to be confident so that they feel better. You feel better when your doctor's like not panicked or scared. So I get that. But I also wish they were honest. And if they didn't know something, they would just say so. Because I'm basing my decisions based on what they say. And it'd also be nice if they spent more than 5 minutes with me. So that'd be nice too. So I have to go and get the report. I'm trying to get the report for the MRI that shows the problem reviewed, which means I can't just call the radiology department and have them do that. No, because I'm retarded. So, as a fellow retard, I'm sure you can understand. I don't know where I'm going with this joke, but anyway. But you get, so you have like the incorrect report, and it doesn't, like, it says the wrong thing. So if it says the wrong thing, everyone just reads the report, because doctors they don't know how to read MRIs. A lot of them don't know how, and no disrespect to them. There's a lot of stuff to know in medicine, but it's like they look at the report, and my report says I'm fine, so I'm like, okay, gotta go to the radiology department, have them change it, and so they're like, no, you can't do it. Doctor has to. So I'm having to call my primary care doctor. Please do this. Please contact them. And they won't do it. And I'm like, come on, you really, like, I had to explain to them several times. Like, I go to a doctor's, I say, I have this problem. I'd like to get a CT. I'd like to see what's going on with the veins and the skeleton inside my body and how they're interacting, causing issues. And they're like, well, I don't know. The report says this, and so, but it's like, I need to know, like, the doctors need to see it on the report, say there's a problem. So anyway, so I've been going to my primary, finally sent in a request to them to get the records, to then send it back and tell them to review it. Because they actually have to, at one point, just, I don't know, like, what would you call it, chain of evidence? They have to have a record of them actually possessing my MRI. And God forbid they had any CD readers there, because I had the CD. Or email, like I could send them an email like WeTransfer.com and just send it to them. No, they don't do that either because apparently we're in 1998. And so, I said email them, but offices back then didn't use it for medical stuff. Or maybe they did. And now they're stopping it because of HIPAA. I don't know. But some places do, some places do. Also, now we're inside. So, yeah, so they're going to do that, hopefully. They're going to review it. I doubted their ability to accomplish such a simple task, so I went and contacted my other doctor who originally ordered the MRI, and I said, hey, here's a problem with my internal jugular vein, because they have a web portal, and I just said, can you guys review this? Or I called them and they said, can you send us the information on the web portal? And so I said, here's what's going on with my MRI. And they missed the internal jugular vein blockage and compression. And can you please review it? And have the radiology department review it. And they said to me, like, who told you that? Who told you? Who told me that there was a problem? And I'm like, I suspected it was an issue, first of all, because like I'm exercising and then the blood flow is greater and then my tinnitus goes away. So that was me. And then I talked to another doctor and was like, can you look at the veins in my neck? And this was unofficially. And he's like, yeah, it doesn't look like there's any blood flow right here on your MRI. And I look at the MRI and I'm like, oh yeah, that's my right internal jugular veins, 4 times the size of my left one. It is the color white. And all the other veins and arteries are black on the MRI, except this one, which is 4 times the area. It's a circle, twice the diameter, 4 times the area, and it's white. It's white. And if you look internal jugular vein blockage, like on Google Images or whatever, you'll see that the vein gets bigger because it's blocked. So that increases the pressure in the vein gets larger, and because of the traffic jam there. So it's, I just showed them the picture and I just told them all the stuff I went through and like how common it is to even have compression, because I also have the ligament damage in my neck, which I confirmed after the fact, after I'd been there and done the MRI. So, and they said that they would send it to them for review. And I don't know, they might kick it back to me, and just because they don't want to admit their mistake. Like they literally might say to me, I don't see a problem here, because they don't want to admit a mistake, and they'd rather me have severe physical health problems and brain damage than that happening. That wouldn't surprise me. Like if they did that, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not even surprised. And I think I'm at the point now where even being out of a job, I'm just going to pay out of pocket and just have a doctor do it, just like I had with the digital motion X-ray. Although that's not covered by insurance anywhere. But I had 4 doctors tell me that I didn't have ligament damage, and then I also just went and said, no, you're wrong, and got the X-ray, because muscles don't take that long to heal. If you have constant tissue pain along your spine, and especially the top part. Well, I guess because the digital motion X-ray, you can only really check out the top of your neck, because like you can't bend your lumbar spine enough to see the instability via digital motion X-ray. I'm pretty sure. I'm just kind of at the point where I don't know, I've got an appointment with an ENT. I figured maybe an ENT could give me a CT. I called him up. I said, do you guys ever refer people for CTs in regards to tinnitus? Because my tinnitus isn't great, and it coincides with, it really is disturbing my life. Even though I say it's improving, it is, but it seriously disturbs my life every day. And it's still bad when I lay down. Like when I lay down, it's like I can get to sleep. If I wake up, then it's like blaring, and I'm like, shit, now I have to get back to sleep with this blaring noise. And that's rough. That's still hard every day. Sleep is hard every day. And of course I hear tinnitus every day. Anyway, even though it isn't as loud, it's still really annoying. And it would be really hard to live with even if I didn't have this problem. So anyway, call the ENT and have the do the cardiologist, or I'm gonna go on the 22nd to see if they can refer me to a CT. I guess if they can't, I might just say screw it, like because of my health. There's a chiropractor down south and near Miami that does CT angiograms for the purpose of creating 3D images and identifying vein problems. And he works with people with neck injuries, so that's why he does it. But so he could have that done, and it might cost me $1,000 or $1,200 to do the whole thing and have him evaluate it and all that, or maybe half as much. I don't know. Depends what I have him do, I guess. But that's gonna be expensive. But I'm just like, I gotta, like, after a year, I need to know what the hell's going on. And people might shit on chiropractors, but the rest of you guys aren't doing shit except sticking your thumbs up your asses. You're really good at that. Yeah, so sorry if I'm all over the place. Like, it's hard for me to focus. And also there's a lot of details. Remember, like, what I did and who I spoke to and the history and how it all fits together and all that crap. It's weird. But I wanted to make this just to have another update, because there's probably other people experiencing similar things. Maybe they could help me, or maybe this will help other people. I find that a lot of this stuff that people are going through goes undocumented. So basically, if you don't write it down or if you don't make a video of it, then it didn't happen. Even your own memory is not going to be good enough to remember the details. So you're not even going to remember. I'm going to forget all this stuff. A lot of the details, I mean, the big parts I might not, but like all the shoulder stuff and the weird issues with like laying down and how things changed after PRP and prolo and when and all that stuff. It's just so much. I still had an issue the other day where I tried to walk a friend's dog, and then yesterday I leaned back like this and stretched my neck out, and my left ear started to ring like really high pitched. And I've seen a lot of people experience that, where it's just like like for a few seconds, but then it goes away, um, and it just didn't go away for like 6 or 7 hours, and it was really scary. It was terrifying to have that. I mean, some people deal with that all the time anyway for tinnitus, and God help me, I don't know how they do it. Some people say they're used to it. Christ. But it was like the kind of loud where it's like it doesn't matter your environment, like you're gonna hear it unless it's like I mean, I went and turned the shower on, and I got in the shower and the shower's blaring, and I can still hear it. Like, you couldn't drown it. I'd have to put on something so loud that it would be as annoying as the tinnitus. So it's like either way you're gonna be annoyed. So yeah, it was like that just from tilting my head, and that was after I walked. I was helping a friend walk her dog, and so just from, and I had to pick the dog up. That might have something to do with it, because it was going towards the street, and I didn't want her to get hurt. And she didn't weigh that much. I don't know, like 25 pounds, 30 pounds maybe less. But and then the next day I have this problem that I haven't ever had before. It makes me think that was it. But it's like, that's frustrating. Like, I haven't improved from prolotherapy and PRP. Like, I can do my own laundry and stuff. But it's still weak. Like, I still have, like, just getting up from bed. Like, it's like difficult. Like, I can feel the strain on my neck. If I do the stretch where you bend over and reach down and try and touch your toes, I can really feel my head just the strain, like all well, not in the front, but in the back here. It's just like, Jesus Christ. Like, part of it's why I haven't stretched like that in a while, because I've been afraid to, but part of it's like this hurts more than it should. Like, I've been stiff before in my life. My head never hurt like that. My head never felt one way or the other. It was like I'd stretch out and I'd feel it like in my neck and my shoulder, not at like the base of my skull and like where the C1 is. I didn't feel it there, not that much. Um, but I miss being able to do that stretch. But so the PRP prolo definitely helped me. I don't know, I might still do it. Dr. Schultz recommended I still do it if it's helping me. And he thinks maybe I should continue that instead of doing the PACL, but I don't know. It seems like that top part of my neck in the C1 area, like I can feel it grinding. I can hear it. I can hear the inside of my neck making sounds, not like clicking or grinding sounds, but I can hear the grinding. But there's also like this sound that's sort of like you're pulling like a sheet over a bed. It's that, I don't know what that sound is, but it's this kind of scraping sound that I hear like um, when I turn my head and move my head around. And that never happened before. So it doesn't seem to be addressing that C1 issue. And I've talked to other people who had PICL, and some of them had the same thing, like where they did posterior stuff and it didn't help that part. But at least posterior helped me some. Some people doesn't help at all. Like, but I'm begging them, and it's weird, but it's like I have to beg them to treat me. It's like, I'll pay you money, just please do it. You know, like, this isn't helping me. I don't know. We'll see what he says. He might agree. Given that I'm still having some major issues. I mean, I thought I was making more progress than I was, but I don't know. Like, if I can't even like walk a dog, it's like, Christ. And then all the other problems going on in my body with my aches and pains and stuff that are like all over the place. Like, my lower back is bothering me. I don't know, because you get aches and pains normally in life, just existing. So at first it was hard to put it together, but then it was like, after a while, I'm like, why is the pain not going away? Like, why does my finger hurt for 6 months? Why do my toes hurt for 6 months and they're not stopping? Like, actually, they've improved some. My toes finally. Why does my knee kill me? I don't know. Because like a lot of people have aches and pains, and everyone gets them, and especially as you get older, and especially if you play a lifetime of sports like I have, it's like, but I seem to be injuring myself more easily now than I used to. Like, not like doing basic stuff that wouldn't hurt any. Like, I'll just push open a car door, and then my fingers will hurt for 2 weeks, and it's like, I don't understand, like, why. I don't know. My cousin was recently diagnosed with EDS. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And I don't know, maybe I have it too. Although I don't know if it's common for people to like be completely fine and have no issues with connective tissue their whole life until they're 38 or 37 when this all started, and just start having it. So I don't know if I do. Maybe I just had some mold or something and went around my body and wrecked the connective tissue, or Lyme's disease. I don't know. Mold and Lyme is that you have other symptoms typically. You don't just have no symptoms and then connective tissue damage. As far as I know, like, you feel sick. But I never felt sick for a while like that. Like, it's been a long time since I've been sick for even like more than a day. So I don't know. Anyway, I've done rambling, so hope this helps somebody. Maybe it'll help me remember stuff in the future. See ya.